The following is an exclusive presentation of Access TV.
Wednesday night in front of a packed house at the Rack. George Mason, Sherrod Wright pulled off a double-double to lead the Patriots to the win, and even this CBI Championship Series at 1 game apiece. Tonight, it is the final game of the season for both teams. Will the victor be the Santa Clara Broncos or the Patriots of George Mason? The final game of the CBI tournament presented by Buick with the championship on the line. Next on Access TV. Welcome to the CBI presented by Buick Championship Night. There's one of our founding fathers, the statue of George Mason on the campus that bears his name here in the beautiful setting of Fairfax, Virginia, about 20 minutes west of our nation's capital. And welcome inside to the Patriots Center where George Mason hosts the Santa Clara Broncos in this, the final game of the College Basketball Invitational, a tournament that began 3 weeks ago with 16 teams from 14 conferences. It is down to these two. Hello everyone, Kenny Rice along with Tom Walsh. Glad that you're with us. It's been an exciting best of three, evened up. Tom, you expected this kind of series when it was Santa Clara matched against George Mason.
Yeah, two teams that have absolutely had very close games. They've come out on top during a very exciting CBI tournament. Both teams have held serve at home so far.
So we'll see what the difference is tonight. We know that there are two guys on display that we're going to talk a lot about. We've seen some outstanding players throughout this tournament. We look at the big horses for the Broncos, and the biggest in this stable is by far Kevin Foster, who comes in here needing only 24 points, and he can get that easily to set a CBI record.
He is a prolific shooter. He is a pure scorer and an incredible passer. Coach Keating calls him the best passer he's ever had. That passing will have to be pinpoint tonight. We expect a lot of double teams to be thrown at him by George Mason.
And Foster the other night had some trouble, but he came back strong in the second half for George Mason. They do it mostly by committee, but Sherrod Wright is the man that has to get started for him. He responded the other night with a 20-point, 10-rebound performance.
You know, Wright is the counterpoint to Foster for George Mason. He had a very big struggle in game one, only 3 points, responded well in game two. He's a high energy guy. He gets that energy from getting involved offensively early on. He'll have to get involved early on tonight for this team.
And there's Kerry Keating in his 6th season at Santa Clara, guiding the Broncos to 25 wins this season. That is the second most in school history. And earlier today, he talked about what it takes coming into this, the third meeting of the week against the Patriots of George Mason.
They did a great job really attacking us from the start. Took us about a whole half to really get ourselves going, or get our deflection count where it needed to be, and get our stops where it needed to be, and made a few runs, didn't have a few shots go down, and even made a valiant effort there at the end, almost cut it to one possession. I think we'll be able to kind of translate some of that mojo from the second half into this game, and our guys are already knowing this is absolutely the last one. There's no if-then anymore. This is it.
And taking a look now at our Buick starting lineups, Kevin Foster needs one more point to go to the 2,400 mark in his career. Cowles the third had 11 on Wednesday night. Trasolini has scored 30 points in the 2 games. Rockamore has scored 29 in the 2 games, and Otunga had 8 rebounds on Wednesday night. And looking at George Mason, Jonathan Arledge had 21 on Monday, but had foul trouble and played only 10 minutes on Wednesday night. Wright, of course, the double-double. Copes has been great on the board with 23 rebounds. Brian Allen has scored 15 and 15 in both the games, and Corey Edwards had 8 points on Wednesday night. Paul Hewitt in his 2nd season here at George Mason, in the 2nd straight year of more than 20 victories, 22 on the year. And earlier we talked to him about taking on Santa Clara.
You know, I expect to see a combination of guys being excited, playing hard, but I worry about the end of the game when you have so much adrenaline going. You know, where are our legs? Where are our bodies? I know mentally we're going to be into it, we're going to be focused. Sometimes these games can get a little, you know, ragged in terms of shooting the basketball, but I know there's going to be tremendous effort out there, and I'm looking forward to it.
And Hewitt, of course, leading Georgia Tech to the championship game of the NCAA tournament. And here now at George Mason with 24 wins last season, 22 this year, and hoping to take home that title. And the keys to the game, Tom.
Yeah, for Santa Clara, Kenny, they really have to have their hands off. They committed so many fouls. George Mason lived at the free throw line in game 2, and that really was a huge difference. For George Mason, the right stuff. We talked in the open. We've got to see Sherrod Wright involved early and often offensively. He gets his energy at both ends of the court from being involved offensively, and they've got to look to feed him the ball.
Dwayne Gladden, Rob Riley, Clarence Armstrong are officials for this championship game. There's Sherrod Wright. And Paul Hewitt talking about wanting him to get going early. A historic game, the 6th annual College Basketball Invitational Championship. The last time George Mason will play basketball as a member of the Colonial Athletic Association. They go into the Atlantic 10 next season. And a violation on Santa Clara, rarely seen on a jump ball, and it will come to George Mason to get us started. George Mason in the home gold, in the road Garnett, Santa Clara. Corey Edwards, the 5'11" sophomore from Jamaica, New York. Brian Allen takes it down the lane and gets the basket. Allen averaging 7 on the season. He had 15 Monday night, 15 on Wednesday night. Right back is Cowles with the 3 that's not there, and here comes George Mason running with Allen. Gives it ahead to Copes. Not there. Allen can't get the tip. And here comes Foster.
I like the aggressiveness, though, that Allen shows there the first couple possessions.
Rockamore stops, pops, won't go, and the rebound by Wright. And just as they did on Wednesday night, George Mason taking it right to them. Arledge with the long 3 won't go, and here comes the Broncos with Rockamore out front. Rockamore, good look at a 3. Arledge the rebound. He has been averaging close to 8 in this tournament.
Santa Clara starting a little tight offensively. First couple of shots really have not even been close.
Wright with Rockamore on him. Line, lane, shot, no good. Copes gives him a fresh 35. Allen comes up short, gets it right back. And inside, it's Wright with the basket.
Oh, absolutely great energy on the offensive glass. Santa Clara's got to get a body on someone inside. 4 efforts at the basket that time, uncontested.
Cowles cut off. Good defense by Edwards. And Rockamore regroups.
Let's see if Santa Clara looks to get Foster involved, get him an open look, maybe coming off a screen.
Rockamore sees an opening and a turnover. Santa Clara. You see the scoring averages almost even, along with many things, both very good free throw shooting teams as well. They hit from beyond the arc well, as you can see with those stats. But Santa Clara, the other night, that was their lowest scoring effort in 6 games. They usually like to keep the pace a little more, only scoring 66 in that loss in game 2. Right. Tip is good. Copes. Eric Copes, the man who had the tip-in winner to keep them alive in the first round of this tournament against College of Charleston with the tip-in here.
Yeah, Coach Keating cannot be happy with what Santa Clara is doing on the defensive glass. Right now, just absolutely being dominated inside.
And yet another turnover for Santa Clara.
You know, Santa Clara is an excellent team. They're really starting off a little shaky. We'll take a look at the last bucket here by George Mason. Again, good aggressiveness inside. There's the shot, and look, getting inside between 2 on the defenders to get the tip.
Allen, 6'3", junior, Largo, Maryland. Works down the left side, gives it into Arledge. And like that, it is 8-0, George Mason. And Kerry Keating wants to get his Santa Clara Broncos settled down.
Yeah, that was a great timeout by Coach Keating right there. Kenny doesn't want to let this one get away too early. We're just underway. Let's take another look here. Look at the nice dish inside. Again, good position on the offensive end, but it's all keyed off the penetration there Santa Clara looked very loose to me. I thought they looked composed, ready to go in the shoot-around today. Got a chance to watch them in the shoot-around, but they've come out very tight. Good timeout by Coach Keating.
Santa Clara could not find the range early. That was their problem on Wednesday night in the RAC. Of course, the Patriot Center was being used that night. It was already scheduled, so they played at the recreational facility, which had about 1,500. This has about 10,000, probably close to half full. They're expecting this before the night's over. Thought that might have a difference for Santa Clara, but not yet. Rockamore for three. Long, Cowles rebounds.
That was a nice look, though, by Rockamore. Santa Clara will take that shot every time down. Had a good look.
Edwards all the way back, tries to wrap around pass, and here comes Rockamore with it, running against Arledge, hangs, scores, and will go to the line.
Oh, what a great move by Rockamore, using his body to draw the contact, hung in the air, and then a nice soft kiss off the glass. We'll take a look at it here. He recognizes he's got numbers. It's one-on-one. He's got a big man, not as nimble. On the defensive end, draws the contact and finishes, and now goes to the line for a three-point play opportunity the old-fashioned way. Rockamore, we've really seen in this CBI tournament. This guy, we talked about Foster being a pure shooter. This guy, Rockamore, is another one of these outstanding shooters that Coach Keating has on the Santa Clara team.
He stepped up with 20 points on Monday night, the 6'3" junior from Henderson, Nevada.
But just like that, Kenny, 8-0, it's a 5-0 run from George Mason. Nice spark there from Rockamore.
Wright pulls up. Atonga having trouble controlling it, still loose. Atonga chases it down. Foster comes around straight away. Three is there. Kevin Foster, who now goes over 2,400 points in his career, the all-time leading scorer at Santa Clara, #2 in the West Coast Conference, behind the legendary Hank Gathers of Loyola Marymount.
And that was all moving without the ball by Foster. Came off the screen.
And Arledge stepped into the lineup in the middle of the season, and the 6'9" junior showing his range. And he puts George Mason back up by 3.
Yeah, Arledge spent almost all of game 2 in foul trouble. That was a big start to his night tonight.
Cal's able to get the air ball and put it through. Lopes to Arledge, good look, 17 straight away, and it's there.
Tonga's got to get out and contest that a little bit quicker. That's just too open of a look. Arledge has got a very nice stroke for a big man, as we've seen now on a couple of occasions early on. But for Santa Clara, they have certainly settled down after that good timeout by Coach Keating.
Arledge knocks it loose, is picked up by Foster.
I think the spacing here is going to be important for Santa Clara to get Foster open.
Cowles, wide open 3, rattles out. Follow-up Trasolini, blocked, but he's fouled by Arledge. Arledge picking up his first. Early start for George Mason. Santa Clara coming back. Kevin Foster with the 3. Right back is Arledge. George Mason up by 3.
The College Basketball Invitational is brought to you by the all-new Buick Encore. The next big thing in luxury is small.
And a look inside the huddle of George Mason. Both teams have had 8-0 runs here early on in this championship game of the CBI presented by Buick. George Mason leading it 13-10 over Santa Clara.
First 5 minutes of any game can be so critical. Really started off George Mason's way. They were having their way inside, just pounding the offensive glass. Good timeout by Coach Keating. And all of a sudden, Santa Clara right back into this one. And we've seen Foster get a good look just a minute ago, nailed that three, and that may be a good sign for Santa Clara.
And make sure to follow the conversation. There's Dr. Nix, by the way. This is a rockin' band he has here. Be sure to follow the conversation on Twitter during the game. You can follow us at Access TV. Use the hashtag AccessCBI.
Here's a young man that's just a pleasure to watch play basketball. Trasolini, you know, just kind of a blue-collar guy. He can bang inside. He can use either hand. He can step outside and drain the 15, 16-foot jumper. Really enjoy watching him play during this tournament.
Cum laude graduate from Vancouver, British Columbia, is already working on his master's, and a foul on that rebound. Cowles over the back.
Well, Santa Clara is going to come out and put a little pressure on, which is what George Mason had in their playbook in game 2.
Trasolini with over 1,600 points. They have 4 guys on this team, 1,000-point scores. And, of course, Foster now with over 2,400. Rockamore backs off top of the key. Cowles, one of those 1,000-point career scorers, gives it to Foster. Foster now guarded by Patrick Holloway in. Shot not there. Here comes George Mason. Try to go down low to Copes. He's fouled by Antaga.
Well, Copes has got a big body down there, an established position, but you know, I like that foul actually, because I think that Santa Clara's got to start making their presence felt inside. You got to start contesting some of those entry passes.
Fresh people on the floor for both teams. Pass comes out front. Gujanicic has it. Marko Gujanicic, who played a lot the other night, 29 minutes. Rare for him because Arledge was in foul trouble. He gets it down low. Foster on him. Mismatch in height of about 6 inches. Left-handed hook is short, but he's fouled.
Yeah, that was great recognition, as you pointed out during the call there, Kenny, to see the height disadvantage. It went down to him down in the low block, and he was able to, let's take a look at it here on the replay. Look at him there with the left hand and goes a little baby hook, but he got fouled. But a good court awareness to recognize the mismatch.
Trasolini picking up his first. Gujanicic, 6'8" freshman from Serbia, prepped at Southern California area school before coming here to George Mason.
As you mentioned earlier, these are 2 teams that are very good free throw shooting teams. George Mason, of course, over 40 free throws in the second game. Santa Clara just cannot give them that luxury going forward.
Gujanicic is in the lineup as he hits them both because Arledge picked up 2 fouls already. Arledge with 7 points, but he's back on the bench with 2 fouls. We'll see how this plays out after his great start. Trasolini down low. He comes back with a hook of his own, no good.
I think Trasolini can have that look all night, though, with that particular matchup.
Gujanicic trying for 3, no good. Copes is there again.
Again, domination on the offensive boards again from George Mason.
Copes has been a brute on the glass. 23 rebounds in 2 games, including 14 on Monday night at Santa Clara.
You just look at him. He's just so big and strong. Looks like a linebacker on the football team.
Foster cut off, steps on the line, out of bounds, turnover.
And there was that double team. Whenever Foster gets the ball, they're going to run that second man at him.
Bertrell Vaughn's number 11 with good defense, the redshirt junior from Mesquite, Texas.
Yep, and you just saw I think maybe he got it with the left foot and then the right foot. I think he stepped out twice. The official got him with the right foot. Good call. Great camera work.
Gujanicic and Vaughn's double teaming over there. That was nice defense. And out front, it's Allen. Vaughn's short. Rebound, knee Harrison. And Rockamore in front court.
I like this bigger lineup that Santa Clara is coming in the game with right now in order to try to shore things up on the inside.
Patrick Holloway commits the foul. Holloway, the freshman from nearby Stafford, Virginia, has been instant offense for George Mason in these 2 games. 3 team fouls for each. Inside Harrison, not there, but he's fouled by Allen.
Yeah, nice move, nice aggressive move. You know, Allen did a little complaining there, but I think that was a good call by the official. Good inbound pass, and there's the contact with the body. Yeah, good call by the officials. And now a shot at the free throw line for 2.
The senior from Milpitas, California, known more for his rebounding than his free throw shooting, right around 50% on the season. Had a strong game against Purdue. It's an impressive win on the road last week for Santa Clara in this tournament. Had 11 rebounds. And another rebound for Copes.
Free throws are going to be big. Let's remember those 2 misses early on, 12:45, but every point's going to count. I think this one could have an opportunity to go down to the wire. 2 very evenly matched teams.
Holloway on the run, off the glass and through. Yeah, Holloway had 17 Monday, 9 on Wednesday. 8-0 run right now for George Mason. Deep 3 for Rockamore. He almost got the bounce. MacArthur, the rebound, blocked by Copes.
Oh, nice patience by Copes to stay in there strong to swat that one away. Didn't go for the head fake.
Allen goes baseline. Dipped out of bounds. Last touch, Santa Clara.
Immediate timeout.
Santa Clara in a drought. No field goals now in over 4 minutes. George Mason on an 8-0 run. Patrick Holloway off the bench, doing it again. 19-11.
Thanks from all of us at Nixon and from Interstate Moving and Storage.
Welcome back to the championship game of the College Basketball Invitational presented by Buick. George Mason on an 8-0 run. Patriots up 19-11. Evan Rockamore, the junior from Henderson, Nevada, coming in here needing 1 assist, and he got it already. 191 assists. That's the most in a single season. And it's held now by Rockamore. One of those guys coming back next year they're counting on. And at George Mason, they're going to be counting on a lot of guys coming back. Everyone, actually, including big Eric Copes, the 6'8", 244-pound sophomore from Philadelphia, who has been so strong on the boards throughout this tournament. But right now, one of the big keys is this. You got to hit the shots. Santa Clara is shooting 29% from the field. They are 1 for 7 from three-point range, and they've missed 3 of their 5 free throws.
Yeah, we saw that in game 2. We thought, well, perhaps it was that venue, the RAC, the recreation center. Small venue, very tight rims. We thought perhaps that was the reason they were so cold, but they've continued to be cold here in Game 3, despite the new venue, this fantastic basketball arena, the Patriot Center.
George Mason's ball. Harris Bennett coming in the lineup for the Patriots. Inbounds right. Spins, too strong, follow-up by Allen. And a foul is called.
Boy, I thought Allen really came over the back. I thought that he was blocked out. He came up, got the ball. Maybe there was no contact. And the official called the foul literally as he was climbing the back of the Santa Clara defender. But it was that good aggressive play that we've seen all night long so far for George Mason. They've just been more aggressive, Kenny. They just right now have been getting all these 50-50 balls inside.
That foul on Brandon Clark, his first. As Allen, a 74% free throw shooter, hits them both. And George Mason has the biggest lead of the game, 21-11. And the Patriots showing full court pressure. Julian Clark operating in backcourt with Brandon Clark. Brandon brings it in front court. Clark takes it, line lane, shot not there. Hustling to try to keep it in bounds. Last touch, Santa Clara's Harrison.
That was a really off-balance shot. Very difficult situation. Really forced that one. Got to credit Edwards, though, just chasing Foster all over the court. Foster trying to shake him, just can't get open right now to get the pass, to get a look.
Corey Edwards back in, operates out front. This is Paris Bennett. And now Holloway. Down the lane, Allen. Contact in the lane.
Offensive foul on Corey Edwards.
And it's going against Edwards.
Yeah, we'll take a look here. Yeah, he's absolutely set. And not only does he pay the price for getting set, but look at the knees kind of knocked together down low. That hurts. The two knees literally knee on knee from the two different players.
Again, full court pressure. John MacArthur gives it to Julian Clark, brings it in front court, has a man open, finds him, and there's the jam. Knee Harrison.
And
good assist, Clark.
It was the passing there, Kenny. When you have that full court pressure, you've got to get the quick passes. Get the ball. They were drilling on that in the shoot around today. Get the ball, get rid of it quick, and it paid dividends there.
Gujanicic back in, over to Edwards. Paris Bennett gives it into Gujanicic. He is sandwiched and fouled. One more look at how to break the press.
Yeah, really nice job in order to wait to the last possible moment, draw the defender in, and look at the nice little bounce pass, and look at the elevation and the flush.
Eric Copes returns to the lineup. They go deep into backcourt to Bennett.
Santa Clara has picked up the defensive intensity the last 2 or so minutes of game clock. I think that's important. Still down by 8 after that earlier 8-0 run.
Bennett with the notion, has it stolen away by Foster and commits the foul trying to get it back.
Pretty good foul, actually, because if Foster gets going after he's got that ball, he's going to have numbers. Looked like it might have been a 4-on-3 opportunity. So a good foul.
Well, we know about his scoring, obviously, but Foster is also the team leader in steals.
A single season record holder in team steals as well.
But he has 3 points so far. And a foul committed as Clark goes down the lane. Paris Bennett picks up his second. That's the 7th on Mason. So Santa Clara now with 10-12 to go here in the first half, shooting the bonus. And Brandon Clark, a 6-foot sophomore from East Chicago, Indiana, and a 79% free throw shooter, steps to the line.
And remember, Arledge is already on the bench right now with 2 personal fouls, and that's where he spent almost all of game 2. So now we've got 2 players with 2 fouls for George Mason.
And Arledge is so huge. He played just 10 minutes, had 4 points the other night, even though George Mason won the game.
And we saw him get off to a really nice start offensively tonight. But again, those early fouls, no choice but for Paul Hewitt to put him on the pine.
Clark hits them both. And now Santa Clara picking up in backcourt. Santa Clara in the zone. Edwards gives it over to Wright. Not there. Copes again the rebound. And took an extra step turnover.
Again, Copes just absolutely dominant inside, though. The Santa Clara defender was there, and he just out-hustled him and out-muscled him.
That's why Mason has a 17-8 edge on the board. Inbounds almost knocked away and stolen, but Foster keeps it. Clark races, gives it to Atonga, and he's fouled as he goes to the basket.
Yeah, fouled on the floor.
Corey Edwards. That is his second. So 2 starters now with 2 fouls. Arledge on the bench. And Edwards headed that direction, is coming back in as Brian Allen.
And what's big about that is Edwards was doing a really nice job just absolutely bird-dogging Foster, chasing him all over the court. So let's see if that maybe opens up an opportunity or two for Foster here with Edwards going to the bench.
Atonga shooting the 1-and-1. And another rebound for Coates. And a turnover. Here comes Clark. Knocked away out of bounds, last touch George Mason. Holloway hustling back.
Clark has really provided a spark here, though. He's getting Santa Clara going in transition. Cut the lead to 6, have a chance to cut it to 4-3.
Inbounds to Cowles, knocked away. Good defense. Here comes Holloway, front court for the Patriots. Baseline and the jam. Sherrod Wright.
And that's the kind of play, Kenny, that'll get that young man going with the energy. We saw the same thing in game 2. He went in amongst the trees and just jammed it, and we saw it there as well. Not afraid to go inside.
He has 4. Foster back for 3.
Oh, that was big. That was big. Just what the doctor ordered.
Foster has 6 on 2 3-pointers. Holloway rattles it out. Drasolini clears. Foster running. They have numbers. Pulls up 3. Feeling it, but not there. Here's Wright. Wright takes it in on Cowles. Good move. Can't finish.
Well, I thought Wright threw that left hand out on an offensive foul, and I think that's what the call is, and that's the right call, Kenny. Wright looked up, complained about the contact, but he threw that left hand out. Good call by the official. Let's take a look at it right here. He come down, right? Good aggressive move, but look at him with the left hand. Good call. The official a split second late blowing the whistle, but absolutely the right call. Look at him clear out with the left.
Wright picks up his first.
So with Edwards on the bench, Foster was able to drain a 3 a moment ago. Had another look. Let's see what happens here if Holloway can stay with him.
Rockamore down the lane. Shot won't go by Garrett, who has played very little in this tournament. Robert Garrett. Gujanicic misses short. Out of bounds, last touch George Mason.
Yeah, Gujanicic has been a little bit short tonight on his outside shot. He's taken a couple of threes, a couple of deep looks. Obviously, he's got a lot of confidence in his stroke.
And Paris Bennett comes back in after that missed shot.
I just feel like the pace of the game is starting to turn a little bit the way that Santa Clara wants it to go now, Kenny. All of a sudden, they're starting to get their sea legs under them here in this game 3 of this championship of the CBI.
They don't want this to be a game in the 60s. That would not be their style. That's where they're headed at this pace. Foster. Shot is short. It is touched by Allen, who also got him on the arm and commits the foul. That's his second. So Arledge with 2, Edwards with 2, and now Allen, a third starter, with 2. Sherrod Wright soaring, scoring, and George Mason still leading.
The entire crowd can win free wings from Glory Days Restaurant with your ticket stub or your Mason student ID. So up first, we're going to have Azim, then Joey, and then Brenton. So Azim, everybody wants wings. Let's hear it. We want wings. We want wings. Oh, good try, Azim. Up next, we have Joey. Everybody's counting on you. They made it like the other night. Short again. All right, last chance. Let's hear it. We want wings. Let's go, Brenton. All right, congratulations, Brenton. Great job. Everybody in the Patriot Center tonight can get free wings up until Tuesday at any of Glory Day's 20 restaurants around Northern Virginia. Just bring your ticket stub or your Mason student ID. Free wings with any purchase, good until Tuesday.
There's Jamie Keating, who has made the trip from Kansas, where her husband is an administrator in Kansas athletics, and she is the mom of Kerry Keating, a Long Island guy who played basketball at Seton Hall. And his grandmother is here, the rest of the family's here. Uncle Jack and Aunt Bill Burtwell making the trip up from Florida. Grandma Fran Carson there on the right, sitting next to Jamie. And other aunts are here, so it's a family affair. They've traveled from Kansas and Florida and parts of New Jersey to be here in Fairfax, Virginia tonight, cheering for Santa Clara. And it's been sporadic cheering. That's kind of the way Santa Clara has been playing right now, trailing 23-18 in this, the championship game, as the young Patriot fans want to see George Mason take home a big trophy tonight in this, the 6th annual College Basketball Invitational Championship.
Kenny, ever since Edwards has gone to the bench, though, Foster's starting to get some open looks. He's hit a couple of deep shots. Here he's got the foul. He drew the foul on Allen. 4 players right now. 4 players for George Mason have 2 personal fouls. For Santa Clara, they've only got 5 personal fouls as a team.
You saw the numbers on Eric Copes, and this is just becoming normal for him. 7 rebounds already as Foster hits them both. And it's a 3-point game once again. At one time, George Mason led it by 10. That lead has been trimmed. Kevin Foster continues to warm up, and he's closing in on an all-time scoring record in the CBI. Paris Bennett with it out front. Holloway moves in to Bennett. Straight ahead look from 17, not there. Rockamore clears it out. Santa Clara moves. Out front, Cowles on the curl, hanging. Shot is good. Raymond Cowles the third, and now we have a 1-point game.
And that was a nice finish by Cowles. I thought there was some contact as he took it to the rack. The officials letting him play out there. Not a lot of contact, but he did get hit, and he was still able to finish.
One-time 10-point lead, whittled down to a single one now. Out front is Allen for 3. Short. Good hustle, Sherrod Wright.
Yeah, Tarasolini's got to come up with that board. He was just too passive waiting for it to come down, and Wright just went and took it from him.
And a turnover on George Mason.
Number 31, Nate Harrison, back in the Broncos.
You know, also, Kenny, with all these players in foul trouble, we're seeing Edwards coming back in right now for George Mason, no doubt to try to see if he can't get Foster slowed down again. But with all these players in foul trouble, George Mason has been settling for the jumper the last few times down. They have not been pounding it inside like they were early on.
Santa Clara on a 7-0 run over the last 2:15.
Rich Edwards draws Foster.
Foster stops, fires, can't get the roll. Rebound, Copes, his 8th.
Good recognition by Foster there. I'm sure he knows that Edwards has 2 personal, and he was going to go ahead and try to take that one and initiate some contact, but a nice job by Edwards not to give him that contact.
Wright, 3. Sherrod Wright, who leads this team in 3-pointers, nails a big one there.
Yeah, and that was right in front of Coach Keating. He was not happy with Wright getting that open look.
Cowles gives it inside. Harrison nowhere to go, back to Foster. Foster, 3 straight away with 6'8", Gujanicic right in his face. He now has 11 points.
He is absolutely fearless. I mean, you give him a sliver of daylight, he will take it up from anywhere on the offensive end.
And here's the steal by Cowles. A chance for Santa Clara to take the lead. Trasolini drives, not there, but he'll go to the line. Gujanicic with the foul.
Here's the look that we were talking about. There's Wright drilling the 3, and there you can see Coach Keating. He is not happy with that. But what he is happy with is Trasolini drawing the contact and going to the free throw line again. This young man, an excellent free throw shooter.
He's shooting 2, a chance to give Santa Clara the lead once again.
That is at least 4 free throws that I can remember that Santa Clara has missed here in the first half, and they're a good free throw shooting team.
Vaughn's in, Holloway goes out. Trasolini 1 of 2, it's tied at 26. Down by 10 at one time, the Broncos right back in a tie game. Edwards calls out the play right at midcourt. Vaughns moves in and hits. Vertrell Vaughns, off the bench the other night, hit a couple of big baskets.
Yeah, not the prettiest looking stroke, but it's effective. Good call. He walked on that one. Good call by the officials. He was getting hounded by 2 defenders, but he shuffled the feet. And again, we're seeing George Mason, when Foster has the ball, even if they're not originally in the double team, they will run that second man at him, the nearest second man to him, to try to get the double team quickly, and that time it worked just like they drew it up.
Wright, who has 7, to Edwards. A floater by Vaughn's, not there, but he's fouled by Nee Harrison.
Yeah. That was an off-balance, awkward-looking shot. He is a lefty, but he was falling to his right, shooting with his left, and really, he should write a thank you letter for that foul. I don't think he was going to make that if there wasn't a foul. That was a difficult shot.
Look at what's happened in the last 6 minutes. That was the only turnover Santa Clara has made during that run of theirs. Got them right back in this. As that shot by Vaughn's, who's a 79% free throw shooter, bounces out.
Well, we talked about, Kenny, one of the keys to the game for Santa Clara was hands off. Don't let George Mason go to the foul line. They went 43 times in game 2 so far. They're following that plan to perfection. Only 6 free throws so far for George Mason here with 4:18 to go in the first half.
Rockamore will bring it up at a friendly hardwood with Edwards on him. Trasolini, the high screen. Denzel Johnson just in the lineup. Goes down the lane, tries to hand it off. As Copes goes to the ground, and he is fouled by Johnson, reaching in, trying to get it back.
Yeah, I thought Trasolini could have been a little bit more aggressive there. The ball was loose a couple of times. He was the closest player to it for Santa Clara, and he just didn't show a lot of aggression to go for it, and that's contrary to what we've seen this entire tournament. He's been one of those guys that'll put his nose right in there after the ball and get after it, and now we'll have a couple more free throws for George Mason.
That is the 7th on Santa Clara, so now George Mason in the 1 and bonus. Eric Copes does so many things well, shooting free throws, not one of them. Around 55 on the season. And Atonga hanging in there to get that rebound. A little premature leaping, but he is able to pull it in.
Yeah, you saw him just skied too early, but still was able to bring that one in.
Rockamore hangs off the glass. Nice body control, Evan Rockamore.
Yeah, pretty shot the way he hung in the air, tried to draw the contact. Difficult shot, a lot more difficult than you would imagine, but he was able to finish.
He has 5, second leading scorer for Santa Clara right now.
Santa Clara drops off that full court pressure now. That time they picked him up in the front court. A lot of standing around right now by George Mason. Not a lot of energy offensively.
Edwards a 3. Corey Edwards recognizing the zone and saying, I have my shot, and he does, nailing the 3.
That was a big shot. No one was doing anything offensively. Edwards recognized he had some daylight, step up, and just drained it.
Foster tries to counter with a 3 that's off. Wright almost pulled it in. MacArthur saves it.
One of the few offensive boards we've seen for Santa Clara tonight.
Rockamore shots off. Here's Edwards and George Mason. Wright, 3 on the go. Follows it up and is fouled. Great hustle by Sherrod Wright.
That was on number 44, Yannick Atonga. Media timeout.
Sherrod Wright, he has 9. Yes, he is a big hit here on campus for plays like this. George Mason leading it, 34-28. And welcome back to the Patriots Center, Fairfax, Virginia. Kenny Rice, Tom Walsh with you. Glad that you're here for the 6th annual College Basketball Invitational presented by Buick Championship Game. Home team George Mason up 34-28. They're on an 8-2 run over the last 2-18. Leading the way is Sherrod Wright, their redshirt junior from Mount Vernon, New York. He has 9, and a great hustle play here as he misses the 3, Tom, but doesn't give up.
Yeah, he knew he was off. He had that shooter feel, and he was just absolutely ferocious to the offensive glass. And look at that emotion. We talked about the fact that he was the energy guy. Exactly what this team needed tonight was for him to come out, get involved early. That's what's happened. We build this as Foster versus Wright. Wright's got 9, Foster's got 11. It's a good old-fashioned shootout between 2 outstanding scorers.
And Wright with just 3 on Monday night, well below his average. Leads his team almost 17 a game. Responded big with 20 points and 10 rebounds on Wednesday. And Wright becomes the first Patriot in double figures as they extend their lead 35-28. John MacArthur has it. And now Cowles will give it over to Rockamore. Holloway back in the lineup guarding Rockamore. Edwards on Foster.
Kenny, big 2.5 minutes here.
Cowles for three. Raymond Cowles III quietly gets his points, averages 10, had 10 on Monday, 11 on Wednesday.
And that was a big three because Santa Clara had really fought their way back. The lead was back to 7. They really need to keep this within 5 or 6 points or better going into the half after they fought up that hill to get to where they are so far today.
Edwards taking a little hop and skip as he comes down, but a foul was called on a block. Eric Copes for setting the screen. That is his first. That's about the only good news for Paul Hewitt right now, because a big key in this is Jonathan Arledge has been sitting out a big chunk of this first half, just like he did the other night with 2 fouls.
Kenny, George Mason's got a whole host of players in foul trouble with 2. Edwards is one of them on the court right now. You just cannot commit that 3rd foul here the last 2 minutes of the first half.
Curling through, Cowles can't get it to go. Copes tips it over, Wright brings it out.
Yeah, I love that look though by Cowles. Nice curl around, just wasn't able to finish, but a great look.
Paris Bennett hands it off to Edwards.
Nice job by Tarasolini to stay with Edwards and then pass him back to Foster.
Shot clock is down to 6. At 5, Bennett changes directions, puts it up offhand, won't go, and gets his own rebound. Another good follow-up. We saw it from Wright, and now Paris Bennett, the 6'6" junior from Linden, New Jersey, staying in there with it on the rebound.
That is just so deflating for Santa Clara. Ball was right there for the taking, couldn't gather it in.
Trasolini drives, spins, and hits.
The redshirt senior. Big.
Set out all of last year with an ACL. Team had a lot of problems. But this year they bounced back with 25 big wins, trying to get the championship. 5-second differential on the clock. And the shot clock. Game clock at 19. Timeout asked for by Paul Hewitt. 18.8 to go.
A good timeout by Paul Hewitt. I sensed a little confusion by George Mason. They weren't sure exactly what set they wanted to run there. So Paul Hewitt, the veteran coach, as we look here, look at that. Not able to finish. And then look at Bennett just come in, get the offensive rebound, and boom. We've seen that all first half long. A Santa Clara player in the vicinity, not able to come up with a loose ball, and it seems like everything that George Mason is trying to do on the offensive glass is coming up golden.
11 offensive rebounds for Mason tonight compared to 5 for Santa Clara.
All right.
2 big ones in the last couple of minutes, that follow-up by Wright and that follow-up by Bennett.
Well, you've got a 4-point lead right now for George Mason. Don't give up the 3, don't commit the foul.
$18.8 on the shot clock, on the 14 on the shot clock, and now 15 on the game clock. Man-to-man Santa Clara. Edwards has it out front. Copes gives him the screen. 3 on the shot clock. With it is Arledge. Arledge has to throw it up, and a shot clock violation.
You know,
interesting that Arledge, with 2 personal fouls, would come in for that last offensive series with 3.8 to go now in the first half. Moving the length of the court is Santa Clara. MacArthur goes out. Clark comes back in.
That was a great point, Kenny. That's exactly the point I was going to make. I was shocked when I saw him come back into the game.
Well, he's going out right now. They're not going to risk a foul with 4.8 they put back up on the game clock. And Edwards with 2 fouls, who did a good job hanging in there with 2 fouls. He goes back out as Vaughns comes back in.
Yeah, Edwards has been a steady influence so far tonight for George Mason.
Trasolini has it, racing into front court with it, Brandon Clark. Clark gives it to Cowles at the buzzer. It'll count if it goes, it doesn't. And at the end of the first half here in the championship game, it's George Mason leading at an intermission 37-33. Offensive rebounds, big for George Mason. And there's a Sherrod Wright fan wearing number 10. Early on, Jonathan Arledge was hitting, but he got in foul trouble. Kerry Keating saying, let's get back in it. His team doing so. Down in double figures, they trail it by 4 at halftime of the championship game here on Access TV. Halftime here at the Patriot Center, George Mason and Santa Clara in the CBI championship game. And earlier today, we caught up with the coaches and players to talk about their CBI experience.
There's so many positive things I could fill up, our whole broadcast. But to have elimination games like we had early in the tournament, playing at College of Charleston, playing in Houston in overtime, playing against a very well coached and a very talented Western Michigan team, and then also going on the road playing against these guys. Even though it wasn't an elimination game, we learned a lot about ourselves.
I mean, it's been awesome. I mean, we could have ended our year with the loss to LMU and not played in the postseason. And I mean, now that we've gone through and we've played six games, I think it's been awesome. It's been a great chance to get to know these guys on the road again, have some fun on the road in our last year. And then going forward for next year, I think it's a great building block for these younger guys to get experience, play against some top competition, and get some wins under their belts.
Us bonding more, it gives us the opportunity, like you said, to practice more, to bond more, and just to work out some of the nits that was through the season. We didn't have the season that we all wanted, of course, but we have an opportunity now to get a win a championship, and take it on to the A-10. So it's just a good environment, it's just a good situation for us, especially with all juniors. I think it's like 7 or 8 juniors. So it's the whole returning team, so it's just experience, just bonding together and getting that experience to get ready for next season.
I think this is a great experience for us, especially for the younger guys, the sophomores and juniors that they're going to be back next year. It's a great experience to be able to play postseason because we obviously didn't do that last year. So being able to play in the postseason, I think, will carry over to next year, and we'll be able to focus more, knowing what our goal is.
We're taking a lot. Our freshmen are going up to be sophomores now, sophomores coming juniors, and us juniors going into senior year. We're just all trying to get better, learn each other game more and more. Honestly, we just all want to win.
Well, for us, it's a different aspect of what we're taking advantage of. We have 5 seniors. We have a team that was all here last year. Yes, it's about getting the postseason and experience of playing in March and now April, and being one of the 6 last teams to play at the very end of the season. And without thinking too much of how long that is, it's really an honor, and it's a tribute to our guys and our staff of how far we've come from just a year ago and starting this journey after a tough year last year. For us, it's more about keeping these guys together as long as we possibly can. We have 5 guys graduating. We've had guys who have distinguished careers here, who've broken a lot of records, set a lot of bars really high for the future. And for our younger guys, especially the guys who have been through 2 of these now over the last 3 years, to understand where we can get to and what it takes to win in March. Seeing the tournament as it was progressing through our tournament, seeing who's gotten to the end of the road, knowing that we've been there twice already. It's about getting to that next step, and to have this avenue to be able to keep playing, and especially in some tough places on the road, at Purdue, at Wright State, now here at George Mason in 2 different gyms, can only really help us and help us build into the future. And I'm looking forward to taking advantage of that in the offseason.
It has been more than just about the action on the court, this CBI experience for both Santa Clara and George Mason. Championship game tonight here at the Patriots Center. We're at halftime. More coming up on Access TV. And here at the Patriots Center, halftime of the College Basketball Invitational Championship presented by Buick. George Mason leads 37-33 over Santa Clara. The Patriots leading by as many as 10. We've had 2 ties in this game, but Santa Clara has yet to lead. Welcome back in, Kenny Rice and Tom Walsh. Glad that you're with us. Interesting first half for Santa Clara. Missing early. They warmed up just a shade, but Tom, they're still shooting under 40%. And the rebounding, they're getting whipped right now, especially on the offensive glass with all the second chance baskets by these home-standing Patriots.
Yeah, George Mason has absolutely been dominant on the offensive glass. This game started off absolutely as a disaster for Santa Clara, but they're a veteran club. They've hung together. They've gotten themselves right back into this one, and we've got an exciting second half of action coming up.
You expect guys to step up, and we're seeing that now with Kevin Foster and Sherrod Wright. They're the 2 stars of their team. They're both in double figures. We go into the second half. We take a look at some of the first half highlights, and Cal's the third, quietly doing what he does. He has 9 points in this game and hit some big shots, and then Kevin Foster gets going, 3 of 6 from beyond the arc for 11.
Yeah, that's exactly what Santa Clara needed. Here's the big jam by Harrison after the great pass on the fast break. And here's Foster again deep behind the arc. Just an outstanding score. He's starting to heat up. Edwards did a nice job on him when he was in there, but the 2 fouls forced him to the bench, and that's when Foster got hot.
And then there's Arledge. And the real key here is, once again, he picks up 2 fouls early. So Jonathan Arledge with 7 points, but he has set out a lot of this first half.
Yeah, and there was Copes. He's been just an absolute beast inside for George Mason. And then Wright, just what the doctor ordered, hitting the jam inside, getting him going. And look at the follow after the missed deep ball. He came in, look at the emotion. He is ready to go tonight.
Right on his way to another double-double. He has 10 points and 7 rebounds. And you see the rebound difference. What's really interesting is Mason, look here, they've had more turnovers, but they have 8 more points on second chance points. It's mostly been the offensive rebounds. That's where they're killing them right now. What does Santa Clara have to do to get on track and maybe get some better looks at threes? Maybe not even from Foster, but get some other guys involved, like Rockamore, perhaps.
I think Rockamore's got to get more involved in the flow of the offense. He's been looking to dish the ball. He's doing a nice job of that, but he is an outstanding shooter. And with everyone just really focusing on Foster, I think Rockamore's going to be key. I think on the other end, they've just got to somehow solve the puzzle of that dominance that they've been up against on the glass.
Just keep getting those rebounds and scoring. That's what they're doing well. We'll be back with the second half here in Fairfax, Virginia. And the Capitol Building, about 20 miles to the east of Fairfax, Virginia, 37-33 halftime of the championship game. The Patriots leading the Broncos. This is the 6th annual College Basketball Invitational. It has been a showcase for teams ready to break out, most notably the 2010 tournament. Had you heard of the Virginia Commonwealth University Rams at that stage and Shaka Smart? Maybe not. They won the CBI, though, and got attention, and of course the next year go on to the Final Four. And then we got a preview of one of the top players in the country when Doug McDermott was just a freshman with Creighton and helped lead them to the finals that year. The Blue Jays with an impressive showing throughout. And then it was Oregon, Dane Altman's team, making their tournament run in 11 to take the title. They went on to 24 wins the following season. Of course, this year, great in the Pac-12. It has been that kind of tournament, a showcase for what might come. And then Butler, after 2 Final Fours, had another Final Four. That was just last year here in the College Basketball Invitational. They made it back to the big dance this year. And the team that won it all last year, Pittsburgh, a team that battled injuries throughout the year, regrouped at the end of the season and carried over this year back to the NCAA as they hoisted the trophy last year. And that's what we have seen throughout this College Basketball Invitational. Rising stars. I wonder in the White House if the president is still doing well in his CBI pool. Perhaps he had George Mason and Santa Clara here in the championship. As we get ready for the second half, lots to cheer about for George Mason so far. They're leading at 37-33 over Santa Clara in the CBI Championship, presented by Buick here on Access TV. And leading the way, big stars as you would expect. Kevin Foster has 11, Cowles with 9, Wright with 10 and 7 rebounds. And Arledge, that's going to be a big key here in the second half. He has 7 points, that in only 5 minutes, because he got in foul trouble and set out most of this first half. There's the matchup we talked about. You see the numbers that they had coming into this final, and on pace, and actually Sherrod is going to pass that with his next basket as we start the second half with Santa Clara on the attack. Foster, Cowles, Trasolini, Rockamore, and Atonga. Foster out deep with it. Foster 13 points away from being the all-time CBI scorer, high off the glass and through.
What a beautiful shot. That is so difficult. He put it high off the glass, beautiful touch, and Foster continues his heating up.
Corey Edwards with 2 fouls to Jonathan Arledge, who also has 2 fouls. Copes inside with 2 fouls as well. Then it's Allen and Wright, the starters, the original 5. Down the line, can't get it to go as Arledge gets his own rebound. Deep 3, Edwards again.
And it all starts on the offensive glass. That ball kept alive. They then find the open look, but it all starts down low to keep that one on that side of the court where George Mason was shooting.
Promising as you saw that stat of 15 and 3 when leading for George Mason fans. Trasolini right back.
And right now it's been Allen that's guarding Foster. They're leaving Edwards on Rockamore.
Edwards, another 3. Not that time. Trasolini rebounds.
Nice job by Trasolini. Got that big body, great position. Didn't even have to jump to bring that one in.
Foster a 3 for the tie. One-handed rebound by Arledge. Edwards racing to Copes, who puts it through and draws the foul. Beautiful assist, Corey Edwards, second on the team in that department. And Atonga late getting there and muscling it through is Eric Copes.
That's his 3rd.
There we looked at that, was getting started on the offensive glass out front, drains the 3, and here he is, Edwards running the break, drops it off, and Atonga with a terrible foul. That is his 3rd personal. He did what Arledge did in game 2. He's going to have to go to the court, go to the bench in the first 2 minutes with 3 fouls.
Only difference is there's about we don't count on Atonga to see him in the scoring column. We do count on Arledge. Oh.
Did you see that, Kenny? Rockamore and Cowles just fighting each other. That'll sometimes happen, but both players was absolutely refusing to let go of that ball. Look at this. Great effort. Look at Rockamore, just wouldn't let it go.
Right in front of the student section of George Mason. So you know they're hearing a few things from them.
That's okay, though. Coach Keating will take that. Rockamore, great aggressiveness.
Harrison is in because Atonga is on the bench with 3 fouls. He's guarding Arledge. Wright takes it in, slices through and scores. A dozen now for Sherrod Wright. And George Mason extends the lead to 7. They have led by as many as 10 in this game. Santa Clara has never led.
Big possession right here offensively for Santa Clara. They keep having to climb the mountain. Can they do it again?
Trasolini, baseline, basket.
That's 2 big offensive baskets here in the second half by the redshirt senior. Taking it inside, good aggressiveness, easy lay-in.
Arledge, straightaway 16. Comes up 15, coming out with the ball is Harrison. Trasolini gets it, goes in, won't count, fouled out front. Foul is going to be on Copes.
Trasolini has really gotten himself untracked here in a positive way to start the second half. He's been looking for the shot. He's been looking to take it to the rack.
And Copes picks up his 2nd personal foul. And so Copes has 2 and Arledge has 2 on the front line.
And right now, Arledge is on Trasolini. Let's see if Trasolini tries to establish that low post position and get Arledge to pick up that 3rd. That's what I'd certainly be doing if I was Santa Clara. And Edwards back on Foster.
Rockamore, a lot of problems. Gets it inbounds now, and there's Foster.
That was just great patience on the inbound pass. Nothing there, nothing there. He had a full 5, finally found Foster. Great patience.
Foster now with 15. There you see Rockamore, who's already set the single season assist mark. Did that earlier tonight. Allen steps back, nowhere to go. The zone, they're looking it over. Santa Clara's done a nice job shifting in and out of man and zone. Wright has it knocked away by Foster. Shot clock is at 8. Now at 6, Foster comes up with the steal. Ahead to Trasolini with the jam.
I think Trasolini, he may get called for some sort of a technical foul. I didn't see a call, but it looked almost like he was standing over the defender. Let's take a look at it.
Here's a beautiful assist. Trasolini up with the jam. And getting tangled up there, 2 big men, Copes and Trasolini.
Look here at the finish, though. They got tangled up, and look at Trasolini. Well, the officials, I think, recognizing this is the championship, a lot of emotion, no call, but Trasolini escaped with that one.
Trasolini closing in now on Steve Nash to become the number 5 scorer all-time with his next basket. He'll be number 5 on the Santa Clara all-time list. Inside, Allen, the pass to Ulrich, and he's blocked. Arledge goes up, blocked by Harrison, and Harrison picks up the foul.
Must have been with the body. Let's take a look at it here, Kenny, because it looked to me like Harrison got all ball. Let's see. Oh, that's tough. That is tough. A little contact. Let's see. Wow.
That's
tough
the
call.
3rd on Harrison. Atonga on the bench with 3. As you look at Nee Harrison, a 6'8" senior. One of the seniors on target to graduate, by the way. Kerry Keating wanted to be sure to point out, and rightfully so, he has a great 19 for 19 graduation rate. All 19 seniors that have played in the 6 seasons under him have gone on to graduate. Coming in now is Holloway, returning once again. Guyon Ijic comes back in the lineup as well. And at the free throw line, trying to hit both of these now is Arledge.
Good substitution, I think, by Coach Keating to bring MacArthur in. You know, Coach Keating coached under Ben Hallen at UCLA. He had a couple of guys that were outstanding at passing the ball in Collison.
They changed the last foul. That's why there was a quick regrouping. The foul now is not on Harrison, it is on Cowles. So Cowles picks up his 2nd. And there's Arledge. When Johnny Williams was injured about halfway into the conference season, Arledge moved into the starting lineup, and he has responded, had a career-high 23 against Western Michigan earlier in this tournament.
A good job by the officials to get that straightened out very quickly.
4 minutes into the second half. Rockamore has been quiet most of this game. Down low, Trasolini. Trasolini puts it through.
Trasolini has been a beast here in the second half. That's his 4th bucket here in the second half.
And he is number 5 on the school's all-time points list, passing the most famous alum, perhaps, in Steve Nash. I qualify that for the Dennis Autry and Kurt Rambis fans as well. Big night for Trasolini individually, and he's pulled his team to within 1. Here they go, 2 of the great scorers ever. Foster the assist, Trasolini the jam. George Mason still up by 1. Back at the Patriots Center, Fairfax, Virginia, 46-45, George Mason leading in this championship game of the CBI presented by Buick. Mark Trasolini, the 6'9" redshirt senior, Vancouver, British Columbia, getting warmed up here in the second half. He has passed Steve Nash for number 5 on the all-time scoring list. And more important, he is keeping Santa Clara in this game, down 1 right now to George Mason.
Yeah, we just saw really all of the points there in the second half. He started outside, kind of got on track. He has 8 points here in the second half, but it was after that he hit that open jumper that he started taking it to the rack with aggression. He's got a nice game, right hand, left hand, and he has taken this team on his back to within 1 of George Mason.
And you see the list, and Foster actually tonight now moving ahead with his 15 points. He has surpassed 2,400 in his career. And there you see Rambus is number 2. Santa Clara trying to become the first West Coast Conference team to win the CBI. George Mason trying to join Virginia Commonwealth as one of 2 winners from the Colonial Athletic Association. Turnover, Cowles, inside Trasolini. It's been Mark Trasolini's second half, and for the first time in this game, Santa Clara has a lead.
And fitting that it was Trasolini who ran the court. The big man never stopped coming, and they found him inside for the lead.
And a foul out front. Rockamore and Foster on the double team of Allen.
And during this comeback, Kenny, Rockamore and Foster have had incredible hands. They've been coming up with some loose balls, forcing steals, and that's been the key here to Santa Clara's run in the second half.
They call that on Foster, his first. Brian Allen out front. Gujarnicic back in the lineup.
A lot of standing around again for George Mason. People need to start moving around, getting themselves open against the zone and look inside.
Pass into Arledge. Nice defense, blocked by Trasolini. Foster, step back 18-footer is there. 17 now for Foster. He is 7 away from the CBI record, and he gives Santa Clara their biggest lead of the night.
I think you got to get Edwards back on Foster, get him back in the game, because Holloway cannot stop Foster.
Straight away, Holloway. Cowles rebounds.
Forced shot there, forced shot.
Foster, 3 over right. Tipped out, Holloway running with it. And he's fouled from behind by Rockamore. Rockamore chasing him down and picking up his first. Be sure to follow the conversation on Twitter during this game, because it's your last chance this season. Follow at Access TV and use the hashtag AccessCBI. And a lot of tweets we understand about Kevin Foster, people really learning about what a great shooter he is, and a chance to see Sherrod Wright and the big rebounder Eric Copes. It's been 4 minutes since Mason's last field goal, and that drought comes to an end. Sherrod Wright, of course, getting the basket to pull his team within 1. Mark Trasolini with a great second half to pace Santa Clara to their first lead. Sherrod Wright keeping it close for Mason. 49-48, Santa Clara leading George Mason. The Patriots coach Paul Hewitt taking a timeout.
And I think it was a good timeout. It came right after the Sherrod Wright had a nice drive and a finish and gave them back the lead. But I think he needs to get his team regrouped and somehow figure out how to stop Foster and Trasolini. 16 points in the second half for those two young men. All the points for Santa Clara, 10 by Trasolini, 6 by Foster. And they've got to quickly solve the puzzle that is Trasolini.
And that dapper man in the white's Dr. Nix, who runs a great show here with the Green Machine Pep Band of George Mason.
I got to tell you, I love the band. I love the atmosphere here at the Patriot Center. A Friday night, the fans are rocking, the music's going. A lot of fun, and we still have 14 minutes of action until we crown a champion of the CBI.
And somewhere John Bon Jovi's getting another paycheck after that little brief intermission. Now we resume action. Cowles out on the left side. Foster and Trasolini have scored all 16 here in the second half for Santa Clara.
Good movement, good spacing.
On the curl, Cowles, the hang, the shot won't go, and who else but Copes to bring it in.
I like the ball movement, like the facing.
9. And a foul is going out front, and that is on Copes for setting an illegal screen. And that is his third.
It looked like he just kind of threw his hip out there, Kenny, and the official right on top of it with the call, and that is 3 personal fouls.
Rockamore to MacArthur. Down low to Harrison. Copes with those 3 fouls on him. Rockamore pulls up, a rare shot for him tonight, but that's usually the results. He puts it through. And Santa Clara equaling their biggest lead at 3 with 13 minutes to go. Wide open, Holloway for 3. Not there. Tip won't go for Arledge. Follow up, right, no good, but he's fouled.
And this is going to cause Coach Kerry Keating's hair to turn gray. 3 efforts there on the offensive glass. Santa Clara just absolutely unable to block anybody out, but look at the great aggressive play on the offensive glass. Here we go with the shot, no good. Keeping the ball alive was Arledge, and then Wright almost finishes. He gets the foul, he'll go to the line. You can just tell sometimes, Kenny, by the body language, Wright really is feeling it right now.
Foster goes to the sideline right now. He has 2 fouls with 12:52 to go here in this championship game. So Wright, getting a breather, goes to the sideline with those 17 points. Foster setting out, the other star on the court, Sherrod Wright. Hitting free throws and getting a breather now is Vertrell Vaughns comes back in. Full court pressure for Mason.
And with Foster out, look for Rockamore to look for his open shot. Cal's also dangerous.
Brandon Clark in there as well. Trasolini curls through, pulls up 14, it's there. Trasolini with 14, and he's close to unstoppable here in the second half. 3-point lead against Santa Clara, and Santa Clara hot, 10 for 13. Floater on the baseline, Vaughns is short. Clark gets it, has trouble. Not pretty, but they get it back in friendly hardwood. Rockamore all the way down the lane in a basket. He's had 2 big baskets here, and Santa Clara up by 5.
And Arledge reached in and was lucky he didn't pick up another personal foul right there. Big possession for George Mason.
Almost turns it over, they do. And once again, it was the zone that puzzled George Mason, it appeared, and they turn it over. Evan Rockamore, we've seen him score 20 on Monday. 2 baskets here in the second half, including that drive. Santa Clara has their biggest lead in the championship game, 55-50. The biggest lead of the night for Santa Clara in this championship game of the College Basketball Invitational presented by Buick. And it's been a great second half for Mark Trasolini, number 15, the redshirt senior, set out all of last year with an anterior cruciate ligament injury, one that makes every athlete cringe. What a great second half. What a great shooting half right now for Santa Clara. They must feel like they're back in California, hitting 11 out of 14. And Foster is back in the lineup as well to move the ball up court against this press. Foster has 17. Kenny Rice, Tom Walsh, Jerry Wetzel, our producer, Jason Vaughn, our director, Darrell Ewald, executive producer, and the great crew that we've had throughout these 3 weeks of the CBI here on Access TV. Trasolini, baseline, yes! He is on fire. 18 for Trasolini.
Just absolutely taking over this game.
Biggest lead now at 7. Right, they need this. And he delivers. Sherrod Wright. Big players make big plays, and that was one of them. He has 19.
Probably his biggest points of the night. Cutting the 7-point lead back to 4.
Brandon Clark operating the point. Rockamore getting a well-deserved rest. Deep 3, Foster. Rims out. Trasolini hustles. A rare offensive rebound. And he calls timeout as he's cornered. It's been George Mason just whipping him on the offensive boards all night. But real big rebound there for Trasolini.
Yeah, he's been doing everything here in the second half, but look at the other end. Allen, nice penetration. He kicks it out for the 3, rattles it home. We talked about the body language, and look at the body language on Sherrod Wright. He says, give me the ball, and I will take you to the promised land.
He had 20 on Wednesday, 19 already. Trasolini is 7 for 7 from the field.
And look at the bench reaction, Kenny. What I liked about it, we didn't quite see it there, but Trasolini, as he was running back down, was celebrating, looking over at his teammates. They were firing him up.
Saw Dustin Kearns and Sam Scholl on the bench, the assistant coaches to Kerry Keating. We watched them work today. It's interesting when they have a practice at half court, they'll have 5 chairs out and the players rotate in those 5 chairs and get individual instruction. Maybe on how to throw it inbounds. That's stolen at the other end. Shot won't go and shot won't go. Bennett missed and Allen missed on the follow-up. How big was that after the turnover? Foster for 3, that comes up short.
Good job there by Paris Bennett on the block out, reestablishing that dominance on the glass.
Good look at a 3, Holloway. Clark rebounds. And George Mason should have had this a 2-point game, missing 2 point-blank shots.
Yeah, and I like that look from Holloway. I think he's forced a couple tonight, but that one they want him to take all day long. Good open look, just wasn't able to knock it down.
Trasolini can't hold on. Turnover.
Yeah, that's probably the only error Trasolini has had here in the second half. He has been incredible.
Brian Allen brings it up. Patrick Holloway in there along with Paris Bennett. Down low is Eric Copes, and Sherrod Wright has the ball for George Mason. Straight away Allen has it stolen away by John MacArthur, the junior from Danville, California. Clark brings it in front court, takes it baseline. Looping shot that's short.
Bad shot.
Here's Wright running 2-on-1. Nice pass. And finishing it off is Brian Allen. Wright the assist, Allen the basket. It's a 2-point game. And a beautiful pass.
Yeah, and what really compounds that was the poor shot on the other end by Clark. And then if you're going to make that foul, go up some authority, but a touch foul.
And that is the 3rd foul on Kevin Foster, who has 18 points and 3 fouls with 9:44 to go here in this game. And now Allen, a 74% free throw shooter, can pull his team within 1.
Yeah, really a poor foul there. Foster's been outstanding tonight, but that a little ticky-tack touch foul, and that gives him the 3rd personal. That's a big call.
Yeah, it's huge because he's out of the game right now. Clark working in backcourt with Rockemore.
Contact there with Paris, Bennett, and Rockemore. The officials let it go.
Cowles is in there along with MacArthur and Trasolini. Clark turns it over.
Well, he tried to do the jump stop and lost his footing, and he thought there was some contact, though, Kenny, that he was a little upset he didn't get the call.
Kerry Keating's not going to waste any time. This is a championship game, and with 3 fouls, Foster comes back in, and Clark goes to the sideline.
Yeah, and there was no contact. Great no call by the officials. Great cam work again to give us a good look at that.
Well, there was a shot earlier and then that play, so back-to-back plays and a steal by Cowles III. Santa Clara holding on to this 1-point lead, and they have a hold of the basketball as we approach the 9-minute mark in this CBI championship.
Good move, I think, by Coach Keating. You got to keep Foster back in there. This is the championship. I like this coaching decision to bring him back quickly.
He's guarded by Allen in the man-to-man. Shot clock at 10. Foster on the move. He's fouled out front. Hand check on Allen's call. That is the 3rd on Allen. Cope's already in the lineup with 3. And coming back in now is Edwards, who has 2 fouls. Going out with 3 fouls is out.
Well, I was thinking when Edwards came back in the game, he might try to draw Foster, but he looked like he's going to pick up Rockemore. Edwards has been a stopper tonight when he's been in the game defensively.
Rockemore takes it in, hangs, shot won't go, tip up is good. Evan Rockemore hangs in there, and another big offensive rebound for Santa Clara, something missing in the first half.
That was just pure hustle, pure desire, and he came up with the finish. Great play by Rockemore.
Latrell Vaughns, straight away 3. He's got it.
Well, that was a moonshot, a lot of arc on that one, but it was nothing but string music. He saw the opening, he stepped up, fearless shot, big play for George Mason.
Vaughns off the bench has tied the score at 59. Foster trying to answer, and does. Foster now with 21.
It's just not fair, Kenny. I mean, the defender just befuddled, goes to the ground, Foster steps back and drains it. It's just not fair. You can't stop that.
Deep corner 3, Vaughn feeling it, won't go, tipped out of bounds. Off the bench for Trail Vaughns. Has hit big shots, and this one tied it up. Answering again, Kevin Foster, moving in on the all-time CBI record. Mark Trasolini, and that's MacArthur sitting to the right of him, and they're listening to Coach Kerry Keating. And here's what he's done tonight. Almost perfect from the field. Big second half, great start to the second half, and along the way he passed noted alum Steve Nash for number 5 on the school's all-time scoring list. Trasolini, who is from Canada, has dual citizenship. His parents are Italian. Some speculation that he'll be playing pro ball next year, perhaps in Italy. which would be advantageous for an Italian team because he would not be considered a foreign player. And then they could get a couple of players from the States or perhaps Canada as well. I mentioned it to him today, and he grinned. He's wondering about a championship right now. They would like to do this. Cannot reiterate enough, when he was out last year, and Cal's had some personal problems with a DUI and missed over a dozen games, and Santa Clara lost 18 games in a row at one stage, but bouncing right back to show the resilience and the leadership that Foster has shown since returning. He's been very upfront about everything, and then you have Cal's a senior and Trasolini a senior and leading this team. And we get back to action, and Copes at the line.
Well, I'm not sure he called glass on that one, Kenny, but it counts nonetheless.
And Copes with 10 rebounds tonight. He has 33 rebounds in the 3 games of this series.
You know, I think it's that senior leadership from Trasolini and Foster that was the key for Santa Clara to get back into this one.
That shot not there. Trasolini grabs the rebound. He has 6 to go along with his 18 points. 2-point lead, 7:20 to go. Championship game of the CBI. Rockamore with a thought. Down the lane, gives a pass over to Trasolini, has it stripped, but he's fouled.
Credit Rockamore on that one. Look at the drive, the penetration. He pulls up, thought about it for a moment, but saw Trasolini cutting to the basket, just laid it off to him. Beautiful play by Rockamore. Credit that young man.
And here's the question now. That's the 4th foul on the great rebounding Eric Copes as Trasolini steps up and scores.
Well, I think a good decision by Paul Hewitt. He's going to bring Copes out. Copes, who's been very effective and dominant on the glass, as we've been talking about, has got to get him on the bench. I don't think we'll see him until maybe 4 minutes to go in this one.
6'6" Paris Bennett comes in to replace him. Trasolini hits both. He has 20. 40 points between Foster and Trasolini in this game. Half-court pressure as Edwards works out front. Nice pass. Arledge with the shot. Yeah, Jonathan Arledge, it's huge to get him back in.
Yeah, and it was a great pass, as you said, Kenny, but a great backdoor cut. He realized he had the defender on his hip. He took a couple of steps, and the ball found him.
Arledge with 11. Julian Clark has it stolen away by Edwards. Edwards to Wright. For Wright, beautiful assist after the steal from Edwards, and we're tied at 64. MacArthur comes back. MacArthur had big points against Wright State in the quarterfinals, hitting shots like that.
That may have been his biggest points of the CBI, only the first points of the game, but the crowd was on its feet after the dunk by Wright.
Arledge just in the arc straight away. Rebound by Vaughns. Vaughns has hit a 3 and come up with a key rebound and score here since coming off the bench. And another look, the quick hands by Corey Edwards. The steal, the assist, and the jam by Wright. And that was the pressure on the young sophomore trying to bring it up.
Good move by Clark not to commit the foul, but he absolutely had his pocket picked there by the wily veteran.
And Cowles comes back in now, getting their original starters back in there with one exception, that being MacArthur. Trasolini feeling a 3. It's not there. Wright high along with Allen. Allen brings it out. Allen stops. Short follow-up, Arledge. And again, Jonathan Arledge.
You've got to come back with the conga. MacArthur just standing there watching that. No attempt to get a body on somebody. Easy put back on the offensive glass. It reminds me of the first half.
George Mason is back in front. Curling around is Rockamore in the paint. Trasolini nowhere to go. MacArthur another one and does it on the baseline. MacArthur has had 2 baskets from each side of the baseline, and it's tied up at 68 with 5:01 to go in this championship.
Now, I like what MacArthur's done on the offensive side. Look, he's kind of an old set shooter. There we go. Rockamore to Tresolini. Nice ball movement. Drains it from the side, but on the other end was where I was a little disappointed, Kenny, from the Santa Clara perspective, as absolutely no attempt to get a body on someone, and it was just like they were playing catch off the backboard until someone scored finally for George Mason. I think Atonga's got to come back right now.
There's MacArthur, the 6'9 junior, Danville, California. Biggest game in the tournament so far had been against Wright State. This team has traveled a lot. Santa Clara has traveled 8,427 miles in this tournament, opening at home against Vermont, then going to the Midwest to win at Purdue, then going over to Dayton, Ohio, winning there against Wright State, then going back home for game 1 and coming back across country to play George Mason. These schools separated by 2,850 miles, so Santa Clara in 3 weeks will travel over 11,000 miles playing in this college basketball invitational. About what Scotty Smith, our driver, who gets our truck everywhere we need it to here at Access TV, about what he has traveled.
Well, I like this lineup right now that Coach Keating's going with. I also like the lineup that we see from George Mason. It should be an exciting final 5 minutes.
Out front is Allen, guarded by Rockamore. Allen down the lane, hangs, can't get it to go. Arledge battling, Atonga back in there battling as well. And here in front court goes Rockamore all the way down, and he is smacked across the face unintentionally by Paris Bennett.
Yeah, he was looking for the intentional foul. You see how he crossed his arms? He was hoping for it, but I think it was not an intentional foul. It was just inadvertent, as you said, Kenny. But good aggressive play. Rockamore goes in. He was trying to get the ball.
But they're going to take a look at it because it really doesn't matter anymore on the flagrant 1 compared to 2, whether it's intentional or not, if there is contact made above the shoulders.
Let's take a look here. I thought it was a good no call as he really gets him down at the forearm. Another great look right there.
And we'll take it. The refs are taking a look at it.
They're getting the same look we saw, so I think that the no flagrant foul call will stand. Let's take one more look at it, Kenny. He comes in and just right on the forearm.
Rockamore is at the line either way. So at the free throw line shooting 2 is Rockamore.
Gerard Wright and Eric Cook return to the Patriot lineup.
So with 4 personal fouls. Coke's back in with 4 personals, but I agree with that decision by Paul Hewitt. This is it. This is the last game of the season. Get your best big body on the court and hope he can stay away from that 5th personal. Good decision, though, by Coach Hewitt.
Straight away is Wright. Out front, Arledge with the thought. Foster chasing him. Now he puts it up over Cowles. And the rebound basket inside by Wright. Big basket.
Unbelievable effort again. Wright is so good at going in amongst the big men and getting those offensive rebounds. We've seen it time and time again tonight. Another big one to tie it up.
Foster staying with it. Not there. Wright soaring. Get the rebound. He's had another double-double game, tied at 70 with 3:38 to go. And Paul Hewitt wants a timeout. Hewitt, 22 wins this season after 24 last year. And this has been a team that knows about playing in pressure situations to get to this point. They won on a tip in at the buzzer against the College of Charleston. Copes did that. They came home to win in overtime against Houston to advance on before beating Western Michigan and making it to the championship round. And Santa Clara coming in here with 25 wins after a disastrous season last year, which we talked about earlier. Foster had trouble, had his DUI, and a lot of credit to Kevin Foster. He stood up, he talked about it, manned up, as they would say, and has been an inspiration to his team, Kevin Foster. And, you know, enough said about the DUI. He had it. He said, you know, talk about it if you want, because he wants others to learn from that. He worked with John Lucas and made great progress. And now we get back to action, and the ball is kicked out of bounds.
Yeah, he's such a leader of this team. You can look at the way the team reacts to the way he leads them.
Media timeout.
Tied at 70 with 3:21 to go. Championship of the CBI. And the crowd enjoying another thriller, has become the case here with college basketball invitational action. Tied at 70 with 3:21 to go. And this is a tournament where already 8 games decided by 6 points or less, 4 by a single point, several going right down to the last shot. Kevin Foster, Sherrod Wright, the 2 respected stars coming into the night, and you see the numbers. They've come up big. Another double-double for Wright, 23 and 10 rebounds, 20 points for Foster. He is 4 away from setting a college basketball invitational scoring mark.
Everything we could have hoped for. The best game of 3 excellent games here in the championship. That's what the CBI, what makes it so special, is this best-of-3 format. And like you said, Kenny, when it comes down for all the marbles for that trophy to hoist it up at the end of the night, the 2 stars, the 2 leading scorers for their teams, have put both their teams on their back, though Foster has had a great co-scorer in Trasolini here in the second half.
Trasolini, this has been his best in the CBI, the 20 points tonight. And close to perfection from the field, 8 of 10. Back to action, George Mason has the ball right at their basket. Arledge. Collision, and Arledge will go to the line.
Just didn't move his feet. The defender, Harrison, just did not move his feet. Arledge took advantage of it. Let's take a, well, let's see. It looks like they're just going to go to the free throw line. But these fouls, they've done a good job of keeping George Mason off the foul line for the most part. But foul shooting could be a huge factor going down the stretch.
The rest of the way, Santa Clara over their limit, so George Mason will be in the bonus. And Jonathan Arledge, the 6'9" junior from Silver Springs, Maryland, going to the line.
Jonathan Arledge shoots 1-1.
And Arledge on the evening has 13 points to go along with 6 rebounds. And an 82% free throw shooter. On top of that, MacArthur comes back in the lineup. Nee Harrison goes out for Santa Clara. Arledge 1 out of 2. Now Santa Clara's turn to take the lead. Rockamore out high. Down low, Trasolini. Trasolini backs in on Arledge. That shot won't go. Copes back in the lineup and a big rebound.
Well, that's just what Coach Keating wanted. Good look, good position, just didn't finish. But that was a good look for Santa Clara.
Kenny Rice, Tom Walsh, Jerry Wetzel, our producer, director, Jason Vaughn, Todd Gordon, the technical director, and the great crew we have with us. Glad that you're joining us. Another one going down to the wire. The championship game with George Mason leading by a point with the ball. Into Copes. Strong, but not there. MacArthur clears it out. Rockamore runs it in front court. Another chance for Santa Clara to take the lead. Rockamore over Arledge. 72-71, Santa Clara.
Big, big. Ice water in his veins. Pressure shot, stepped up and just drained it.
Right. Trasolini comes out with it, out of bounds. It will stay on the George Mason end, and they have 35 freshmen on the clock.
And again, it was right following the missed shot. Just incredible, incredible effort to go in, keep that alive, and keep the ball on this end of the floor.
Great job on the boards, the offensive glass tonight for George Mason. Arledge has it. Cross court to Vaughns. Vaughns has been a spark off the bench. Allen with it out front. Copes and Arledge are inside, and of course Wright's out there.
I like the patience by George Mason. Plenty of time on the shot clock.
Arledge. Jonathan Arledge. Another big basket. And Mason's back up by a point.
Credit the patience there. They worked the clock, waited until they got the look they wanted, and then Arledge finished.
Rockamore, Foster for three in the lead. Foster rips it through for his 23rd point. And Santa Clara's up 75-73.
All timeout.
Well, what can you say, Kenny? Rockamore finds Foster in the corner. Vaughn just couldn't quite get there in time. And that's the guy you want shooting the ball in the pressure situation. Foster answers big time and gives his squad the 2-point lead. What a shot with 1:09 to go.
Foster over 2,400 points in his career. He achieved that tonight. Already has the record for most threes in a college basketball invitational. And now is within 1 point of becoming the all-time scorer in CBI history.
Right now, Coach Keating is talking to his team about don't make the needless foul. Make them work for the shot. Don't give up the easy look, but do not put this team on the line. You're in the bonus. George Mason's in the bonus, so no needless foul.
1:09 to go. Championship game of the College Basketball Invitational presented by Buick, the 6th annual CBI. Past winners Tulsa, Oregon State, Oregon, Pittsburgh, and of course Virginia Commonwealth. And George Mason with 2 timeouts remaining. Santa Clara has won, the possession arrow pointing to George Mason. And there's Sherrod Wright, who has turned in another double-double. Santa Clara over the limit. George Mason in the bonus. They have committed only 5 team fouls, so they have 1 to give. Does Mason. Brian Allen brings it in front court. Arledge out high, Trasolini on him.
1 minute to go, 1 minute.
Patrick Holloway is back in as well, an excellent 3-point shooter. Under a minute to go, straight away, Allen. Big bounce. And a foul inside. Collision, bodies on the floor. Rockamore is down, trying to get position inside. And another look at the high bounce, and Allen shooting in, trying to follow up his shot. And he commits the foul. That is his 4th. That is the 6th team foul.
He's an excellent shooter, Kenny, but I just don't think that was the shot they needed in that particular situation. Only a 2-point game, still plenty of clock to be run.
Santa Clara leading it by 2. They have the ball. 48 seconds to go in the game. Foster with 23 points comes up. He's guarded by Vaughns, who's just coming in the lineup. Rockamore out front. Foster, 3, short, tipped outside. Rockamore going for it, collides with Vaughns, a whistle and a foul.
Well, one of those hustle plays that's going to come back to bite him because George Mason's going to go to the free throw line.
Rockamore commits the foul.
Good call by the official.
Foster going for the put-away 3 that comes up short. And now going to the line with a chance to tie is Vertrail Vaughns. Atonga comes back in. MacArthur, who's hit a couple of big baseline jump shots tonight for Santa Clara, goes out. And Vaughns, a 79% free throw shooter, can tie it up. Shot clock is off. Vaughns cannot tie it. Battle for the rebound, and it is brought off by Cowles. And a foul in backcourt, and Rockamore is fouled. That is the 7th on Mason, so Santa Clara now in the 1 and bonus. With 19.8 seconds to go in the game, and a 1-point lead for the Broncos.
Good news for Santa Clara. Good free throw shooter going to the line, but for George Mason, they can still tie it with a 3 even if he knocks both of these down.
And Vaughns goes out, and that 3-point shooter, Patrick Holloway, is back in. Rockamore, big 1-and-1. Rockamore has yet to miss. Almost 80% shooting on the year. He makes it a 3-point game. 19.8 to go. George Mason with 2 timeouts. They'll take 1 now. And the 2013 College Basketball Invitational presented by Buick coming down to the final ticks of the clock. 16 teams from 14 conferences beginning play 3 weeks ago. And this, our 17th and final game with 16.7 to go. Santa Clara with a 3-point lead here at George Mason.
Now, they absolutely do not have to take the 3 if it's not there. Enough time remains. If the 3's not there, I'm sure they're going to look for right. If it's not there, go inside, get the easy 2, and then commit the foul.
Each team with a timeout remaining, both teams in the bonus. 1 more foul from Santa Clara, and George Mason's in the double bonus, and the arrow is pointing the way of the Patriots. Santa Clara coming back out with their original starters. Foster, Cowles III, who by the way has made 13 straight A's in 4 quarters of his studies, on his way to graduating on time as well. Trasolini, Rockamore, and Atonga. And George Mason counters. Allen will inbounds it. They have Arledge and Copes inside. Wright is in there, and Holloway, a terrific 3-point shooter. It comes out to Arledge. Allen driving the lane, hangs and scores. Allen taking it all the way in on Trasolini, makes it a 1-point game with 11.3 to go. And timeout is asked for by George Mason.
Smart play right here. They had a problem getting it in. They finally got it in to Arledge. He gave it back to Allen. Very smart move. Go in, get the easy 2. There's still 11 seconds. You can commit the foul and live to fight another day.
But George Mason with that timeout, Tom. No more timeouts remaining now for the Patriots. They do have the possession arrow in their favor if they get a tie-up with what will probably be full court pressure. 23 points tonight for Kevin Foster. He has tied a CBI record for most points. And a terrific tournament for him. At one time, he was averaging right around 30 points in this tournament. 20 points tonight for Trasolini. Another double-double for Sherrod Wright, who's put up 23 points in this game, 16 for Arledge. And big rebounding again for Eric Coates. Star players have made star plays down the stretch.
It's going to be important, Kenny. In order to be able to live that other day tonight with another possession, you've got to get a quick foul. You cannot have 6, 7, 8 seconds go off the clock. You need to leave yourself with no timeouts. You need to leave yourself at least 4 or 5 seconds to get that potential game-tying three. So as soon as it's inbounded, foul.
If inadvertently it was mentioned that Cowles had the DUI, and please let's let it rest at that. He did not. It was Foster. We don't want to bring any more attention to Foster. We apologize if that was inadvertently said. We don't remember saying it. Now we get back to the game. Full court pressure. And there's a foul in backcourt.
Well, they were smart. They did not foul Foster. That's the ball was inbounded to. They decided to let him make one pass, but Rockamore also deadly from the line.
Rockamore will go to the line. 77-76. 8.3 seconds to go. Rockamore perfect on the night at the line. He has 17. .3 seconds to go. No timeouts remaining for George Mason.
Still enough time to get the ball down to get a good look. Quick passes and shoot it out to the wing and get the three.
And it will take a three. With 8.3 to go, Santa Clara takes a timeout.
30-second timeout.
That is their final timeout. Neither team with timeouts remaining. Possession arrow pointing to George Mason. They're trailing 79-76.
Now, one interesting thing, Kenny, there's always the debate. Do you commit the foul and not give them the opportunity for the three? I just don't believe in that in this situation. I would not put him on the line. I'd make him earn it with the three.
George Mason, they know pressure. They stayed alive in the first round of this tournament on an Eric Coates tip-in at the buzzer to beat College of Charleston. Then they won in overtime against Houston to continue on. Both teams in the bonus situation. So the question now, would you commit a foul before they can go for the three-pointer and go to the line? And that's the question that's always asked, as Wright will throw it in bounds. Allen is in there along with Holloway. Three good outside shooters. Arledge in as well. Gujanicic comes in, another good three-point shooter. Arledge to Wright. Wright is fouled. Rockamore fouling at midcourt to send him to the line.
Yeah, I think that was a smart play. I just said a minute ago I would not make the foul, but you had Wright with momentum, had an angle, good foul. Good foul.
Wright shoots two.
And Wright goes to the line, shooting two with 4.6 to go. Key is making the first one. Now Atonga comes in for rebounding.
I think you almost have to miss this one, Kenny. Somehow get the offensive rebound and get it out for a three.
And Wright, such a great evening. Double-double for him again. Now 79-77.
I think he was trying to miss it.
Full court pressure. Inbounds to Foster, immediately fouled.
I think he was trying to miss the second free throw, and he ended up banking it in inadvertently.
And Foster will go to the line. A chance to wrap this up. He hits them both. It can be a two-possession game.
Look at it. He tries to go strong off the back glass. So he tried to hit the first one, missed it. Tried to miss the second one, made it.
Foster with 23, shooting the 1-and-1. And with that, he is the all-time scorer in college basketball invitational history. And he makes it a three-point game. And this could seal the deal and give Santa Clara's Broncos the CBI title. Not there, still a chance. Racing in front court, Allen gives it ahead. Holloway, three to tie, not there. And Santa Clara has won the 2013 College Basketball Invitational. They had a chance at the buzzer with one of their best three-point shooters, but it was just off the mark. Santa Clara wins it 80-77.
What a finish. Great free throw shooter. Foster misses it. And a great play here by George Mason to get it to Holloway. As you said, Kenny, he's an outstanding three-point shooter just off the back rim. They got the look they needed. Two great warriors of teams. And one team, unfortunately, has to go home a loser. But congratulations to Santa Clara for a hard-fought victory.
And appropriate that it would be. Kevin Foster, who has come through with so many big plays throughout his career, a career where he became the all-time leading scorer in Santa Clara history, and he hits the free throws to ice it, becomes the all-time leading scorer in CBI history, and helps his Broncos to an 80-77 win. And now, before a more silenced crowd here, a good crowd turning out to support George Mason tonight, it will be Santa Clara accepting the big trophy.
Well, a lot of jubilation by that team when that shot went off the back rim. Trasolini running into the arms of his teammates. He was fantastic.
We'll be back with the trophy presentation. Santa Clara, the champs. Santa Clara, the champions of this, the 6th annual College Basketball Invitational presented by Buick. They become the 3rd team, joining Oregon State in 09 and VCU in 10 to win it on the opponent's court. And now we get ready for the trophy presentation.
Congratulations to the runner-up of the 2013 College Basketball Invitational presented by Buick, Paul Hewitt and the George Mason University. The most valuable player is Kevin Foster from Santa Clara. Congratulations to Kevin. And finally, congratulations to Kerry Keating and the Santa Clara Broncos, the champions of the 2013 College Basketball Invitational presented by Buick. Let's hear it for the Broncos.
As Kerry Keating picks up the trophy. And Kerry, your team's left you here for a moment.
I'm too excited to come get the trophy, I guess. It's for them, not me. Come on, come on, come on.
And here comes the rest of the team around you.
Right.
Congratulations on the victory.
Mark, come on.
I know you got to get Trasolini in here. He was carrying you early in the second half. What did you think about the way your team was able to play in the second half and some big shots by big guys, Rockamore at the free throw line, Foster, Trasolini?
Well, we went to our guys right here that we've been counting on for 5 years and really proud that these guys could finish their career with a championship. Mark just passed Steve Nash for number 5 all-time in scoring. He actually got that done. So proud to be able to do it in a championship effort, but a total team effort. Every guy got the chance to see the floor, and even though not every guy played their best game, our team effort was enough to overcome a great George Mason team, and really proud of the fact we were able to get this one done on the road.
Congratulations, great season. 25 wins?
26.
26 wins now, which is second most in school history, Kerry.
Great effort by our guys. It's all about our program, all about our kids, and so happy for our seniors and our players to finish this way. And we reset our goal after the season to cut the nets, and really gracious that Tom O'Connor and Paul are going to let us do it in their building. Not crazy about that, but these guys deserve that and a chance to go home a champion. Not everyone can say it. Only 4 teams in the country can do it. We're 1 of 3 so far, and hopefully we'll make it work for the offseason to continue this program.
Congratulations, Kerry Keating. Great job. Mark Trasolini's here, and we're going to get the MVP, Kevin Foster. You guys are almost linked at the hip. Last year, tough year for you guys. You came in saying you wanted to cut down nets, and a big win tonight, Mark.
Man, I mean, we just been through so much, you know, and it just means the world to all of us to just go out champions and do it together. You know, the senior classes work so hard, all the underclassmen work so hard, and it just feels great just to win the championship.
Congratulations. Good to see you healthy again. The knee this year. Best wishes, Kevin. Congratulations. Here we talk again. Most valuable player and the all-time scorer in the College Basketball Invitational. You have talked so bravely about personal problems you had and what you wanted to do to come back and show everybody what you can do. Right. You've done it this season. What's that meant?
I mean, it's meant the world, you know what? Because I mean, there's been the doubters. I mean, at one point I even doubted myself, but I had to reset myself, and I went home for 3 months and really just grew up as a person, and that really took me to the next level as a player.
We talk about such a team you have, and Rockamore hits the free throws. Cal's plays steady as he always does. Right. We already talked to Trasolini. The whole effort, what is this whole team thing about at Santa Clara this year?
I mean, we just love hanging around each other all the time. It's off the court, on the court. We just have a really good unity, and that really shows at the end of games we trust. So when we trust, everything goes well.
One of the best shooters anywhere, Kevin Foster, and coming up with the big free throws at the end to seal the deal. Congratulations, Kevin. Thank you. Tom joins me now for final thoughts. Paul Hewitt and his George Mason team with a good season, and everybody comes back. That's one of the things about the CBI. This was almost like the redemption for Santa Clara. They'll lose some good players. Everybody comes back with a young and team that continues to be on the rise here in George Mason. Your thoughts about this game?
Well, it was just only fitting that we came down to a last-second shot that went off the back rim. It's been 3 weeks of those kind of games in the CBI here in 2013. I think this game won by Santa Clara because of that senior leadership. Trasolini, Foster, they rode them to victory. What an ending, what a tournament.
26 wins, second most in school history, and closing out strong against a very tough team. Sherrod Wright stepped up. Arledge stepped up. Big players make big plays. They did, and they came so close at the end. But it was great to see such a well-played game.
Absolutely. I think George Mason can hold their head very high. They competed like champions. Again, it's one of those games you hate to see someone go home a loser. They were winners, even though the score didn't reflect it tonight.
Taking home the big trophy of this, the 6th annual College Basketball Invitational presented by Buick, the Santa Clara Broncos. It'll be a sweet trip home to California. Thank you for being with us for this, the College Basketball Invitational presented by Buick. You see all the people that made everything possible. Great crew to join us throughout this journey. For executive producer Daryl Ewalt and our entire crew, we thank you for being with us every step of the way over these last 3 weeks. For Tom Walsh, I'm Kenny Rice saying so long from Fairfax, Virginia, where Santa Clara has won the 2013 CBI.
You've been watching a special presentation of the College Basketball Invitational presented by Buick.
You don't need that. You don't need that. You don't move that out the way for you. Yes, sir. Bob takes 1 set.
Team around you. Congratulations on the victory.
Mark, come on.
I know you got to get Trasolini in here. He was carrying you early in the second half.
Oh, you know.
What did you think about the way your team was able to play in the second half and some big shots by big guys, Rockamore at the free throw line, Foster, Trasolini?
Well, we went to our guys right here that we've been counting on for 5 years and really proud that these guys could finish their career with a championship. Mark just passed Steve Nash for number 5 all-time in scoring. He actually got that done. So proud to be able to do it in a championship effort, but a total team effort. Every guy got the chance to see the floor, and even though not every guy played their best game, our team effort was enough to overcome a great George Mason team, and really proud of the fact we were able to get this one done on the road.
Congratulations, great season. 25 wins?
26.
26 wins now, which is school history, Kerry.
Great effort by our guys.
And the College Basketball Invitational presented by Buick, the 6th annual championship came down to the final shot. And the team leaving Fairfax, Virginia, cutting down the net, the visitors from Santa Clara, 80-77 over George Mason. After Kevin Foster misses, it's a three-point game, and one of the top three-point shooters, Patrick Holloway, a chance that just missed by inches, and that's the way the season comes to an end.
You want some water?
No, I'm okay. The College Basketball Invitational presented by Buick, the 6th annual event. Here in Fairfax, Virginia, the visitors from Santa Clara defeating George Mason 80-77. It came down to the last shots of the game. Kevin Foster with this free throw, miss after making the one that put him up 3, and then Patrick Holloway, one of their top three-point shooters, and it is just off the back of the iron, 80-77. Santa Clara with the win. And afterwards, I talked with winning coach Kerry Keating. Congratulations on the victory.
Mark, come on.
I know you got to get Trasolini in here. He was carrying you early in the second half.
Oh, you know.
What did you think about the way your team was able to play in the second half and some big shots by big guys, Rockamore at the free throw line, Foster, Trasolini?
Well, we went to our guys right here that we've been counting on for 5 years, and really proud that these guys could finish their career with a championship. Mark just passed Steve Nash for number 5 all-time in scoring. He actually got that done. So proud to be able to do it in a championship effort, but a total team effort. Every guy got the chance to see the floor, and even though not every guy played their best game, our team effort was enough to overcome a great George Mason team, and really proud of the fact we were able to get this one done on the road.
And Kenny Rice here with Tom Walsh. Trasolini started the second half red hot. Foster played well. Cowles the third played well. Rockamore was perfect at the free throw line. Big shots down the stretch. Point being, the veteran players for the veteran team stood up when they needed to, Tom.
They absolutely did, and that's what all you can ask for as a coach. Coach Keating basically put this one in the hands of his seniors, and they delivered the victory. It was a great tournament, 3 weeks of basketball, only fitting that this one came down and ended the way it did.
Foster, by the way, becoming the all-time leading scorer in the College Basketball Invitational, as he put up 24 tonight, hit 1 of 2 free throws right down the stretch. And we take a look at Foster early on.
Took him a minute to get on track, Kenny. They had some nice defense on him, but he ultimately did, and he excelled down the stretch.
And Mark Trasolini, who, as you heard the coach mention, passed Steve Nash for number 5 all-time scoring, was almost perfect to start the second half.
Yeah, he's the guy that really got things going for Santa Clara. Things started off in the first half really poorly for Santa Clara. Trasolini came out, got things going well for this team there in the second half, and they rode him to victory.
Offensive rebounds, they had 20 rebounds to George Mason, 27 points on second chance. That alone, you figure, would propel them, but it was the outstanding shooting, 62% for Santa Clara. At one time, they were shooting close to 80% at the start of the second half, and then hit those free throws down the stretch when they needed them. 16 for 22 overall, but when they needed them, Rockamore especially hitting free throws.
Yeah, Rockamore, we knew he was going to have to step up in the second half. It's one of the things we talked about at the half. He absolutely did. He delivered as well.
A tournament that goes down to the wire fittingly, this 6th annual College Basketball Invitational presented by Buick. It came down to the final shot. It didn't go in, and Santa Clara cuts down the nets, 80-77, the CBI champs.